the more fully we say yes to the life within, the more space, the more heart space and tenderness there is for our world. Naturally, we widen the circles. And it gets contagious. Just the way violence breeds violence, if your response to pain is kindness, that actually creates more kindness and it ripples out. Others can feel it. A story I want to end with that I told you about the Good Samaritan story. This story is entitled A Real Good Samaritan. And I wanted to share it as part of closing because it really touches me right now at this point in my life. It's written by Bernard Hare, who's a British writer. He describes that he was living as a student, impoverished in the north of London, and the police called him at his student hovel in the early evening. He didn't answer the phone, but then he got to thinking his mom had been sick, so he rings home to Leeds, where his family lives, and finds out his mother's in the hospital, not expected to survive the night. "Get home, son," my dad said. I got to the railway station to find I'd missed the last train. A train was going as far as Peterborough, but I would miss the connecting Leeds train by 20 minutes. I bought a ticket home and got on anyway. I was a struggling student and didn't have the money for a taxi the whole way, but I had a screwdriver in my pocket and a bunch of skeleton keys. I was so desperate to get home, I planned to nick a car in Peterborough, hitchhike, steal some money, anything. I knew from my dad's tone of voice that my mother was going to die that night, and I intended to get home if it killed me. "Tickets, please," I heard. I fumbled for my ticket and gave it to the guard when he approached. He stamped it, but then just stood there looking at me. I had been crying, had red eyes, must have looked a fright. "You okay?" he asked. "Of course I'm okay. Why wouldn't I be? And what's it got to do with you in any case?" "Well, you look awful," he said. "Is there anything I can do?" "You could get lost and mind your own business," I said. "That'd be a big help." I was not in the mood for talking. "Look, if there's a problem, I'm here to help. That's what I'm paid for." I was a big bloke in my prime, so I thought for a second about physically sending him on his way, but somehow it didn't seem appropriate. The only other thing I could think of to get rid of him was to tell him my story. "Look, my mom's in the hospital dying. She won't survive the night. I'm going to miss the connection to Leeds at Peterborough, and I'm not sure how I'm going to get home. It's tonight or never. I won't get another chance. I'm a bit upset. I don't feel like talking. I'd be grateful if you'd leave me alone, okay?" "Okay," he said, finally getting up. "Sorry to hear that, son. I'll leave you alone then. Hope you make it home in time." Then he wandered off down the carriage back the way he came. I continued to look out the window at the dark. 10 minutes later, he was back at the side of my table. "Oh no, here we go again," I thought. "This time I'm really going to rag him down the train." He touched my arm. "Listen, when we get to Peterborough, shoot straight over to platform 1 as quick as you can. The Leeds train will be there." I looked at him dumbfounded. It wasn't registering. "Come again?" I said stupidly. "What do you mean? Is it late or something?" "No," he said, "it isn't late," defensively, as if he really cared whether trains were late or not. "No, I just radioed Peterborough. They're going to hold the train up for you. As soon as you get on, it goes." Everyone will be complaining about how late it is, but let's not worry about that on this occasion. You'll get home, and that's the main thing. Good luck and God bless. Then he was off down the train again. "Tickets, please. Any more tickets now?" I suddenly realized what a top-class, full-fledged Dulem I was and chased him down the train. I wanted to give him all the money from my wallet, my driver's license, my keys, but I knew he'd be offended. I caught him up and grabbed his arm. I just wanted to, I was suddenly speechless. "It's okay," he said, "not a problem." He had a warm smile on his face and true compassion in his eyes. He was a good man for its own sake and required nothing in return. "I wish I had some way to thank you," I said. "I appreciate what you've done." "Not a problem," he said again. "If you feel the need to thank me, the next time you see someone in trouble, you help them out. That'll pay me amply. Tell them to pay you back the same way, and soon the world will be a better place." Bless you. I was at my mother's side when she died in the early hours of the morning. My meeting with the good conductor changed me from a selfish, potentially violent hedonist into a decent human being. but it took time. I paid him back 1,000 times since then. I tell the young people I work with, and I'll keep doing so until the day I die, you don't owe me nothing, nothing at all. And if you think you do, I'd give you the same advice the good conductor gave me. Pass it down the line. I think I love the story because it has to do with the kind of world we want to live in, and that's ours to create. That there's a kind of understanding that to be kind, we have to, as someone says, it swerve regularly from our path. Do you know what I mean by that? We're on a track, on our way somewhere else, into the future. And the place where our heart gets tender is right here, right now, when we can say, oh, this hurts, ouch. And hold our own being, or look at another and really look and sense that like ourselves, this person too is struggling. That everyone we meet in some way has lost or will lose beings that they love. That every one of us is living in uncertainty. That we get insecure about people caring about us. If we can slow down just enough, like that conductor, to really register, oh, person in trouble, our heart will naturally get tender and we'll start passing it on. Dalai Lama calls this shift in our being from an ego self that just focused on ourselves to really taking in who's here with kindness as the hope of the world. I really think it is.